Hello everybody and welcome to my tutorial video for creating Android and notification categories for your Unity application. So notification categories, or as they're referred to on the development side and they'll be referred to in the duration of this video, called notification channels. So notification channels are a really nice feature that was added in Android Oreo, and they basically allow an application to categorize the types of notifications that the user will receive. And so this gives the user a lot more control about what types of notifications they receive and what types of notifications they don't. So for example, in the application that we'll be creating today, we're going to have a couple different notification channels. There's just going to be a miscellaneous one for any uncategorized notifications. And then we're also going to have a deals of the day one and then a news feed one. So if a user was, say, getting annoyed with all the news feed ones, they could just turn off the news switch and then leave the deals of the day one active so they still get those deals of the day notifications and don't have to worry about getting those annoying news articles that they don't care about. So I really want this tutorial video to be a standalone video, so I'm going to be covering a really wide variety of topics. So if you only need one or two particular things, I've included all the time codes for the main points down in the description below, so you can just jump to what point in the video that you need to reference. So basically in this video I'm going to be showing how you can create notification channels for your Unity application, and then later I'm going to be showing you how we can actually send push notifications to an individual channel using the Firebase Cloud Messaging service. If you don't have the Firebase Cloud Messaging service set up already, I'm not going to be going over that in this tutorial video. However, I've already created another tutorial video that you can follow along with, so I'll leave the link in the card up here as well as in the description below. So outside of that, the only prerequisites you'll need is a device running Android Oreo, because notification channels only apply to Android Oreo. They won't work on any versions below Android Oreo. And then you're also, of course, going to need a recent version of Unity and Android Studio to follow along with these steps here. So before we jump right into the tutorial, I just want to give a quick shout out to two YouTube channels who really helped me out in the creation of this tutorial video. The first is CWGTech. He created a video on creating Android plugins for Unity, and so we're going to be going over some creating of Android plugins for Unity. The other one is Coding in Flow. He has a YouTube video that goes over creating notification channels for native Android applications. So it was extremely helpful for me to watch that video to get an idea of how these notification channels are actually created in a native Android application, and then me kind of combining that with CWGTech's video as well as adding in some few things of my own. I've created this tutorial video for you today. So if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful at all, please make sure you give it a like, and also feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already for much more tutorials like this one, as well as lots of really cool independent video game developer related content. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise, feel free to drop them down in the comments section below. But anyways, let's jump right into the tutorial video. Okay, so we're going to get right on into it in just a sec here. We're actually going to be starting in Android Studio, but I did want to show off a few things in Unity here. And so the first thing that I wanted to show you is that after you import the Firebase Messaging Unity package, it's going to create this plugins folder here, and there's going to be a couple things under it. So if you just go to this plugins and click on the Android folder, you're going to be seeing a bunch of these things, and they're Android archives. Basically, they're just a zip file with the .aar extension. And so we're going to be creating one in Android Studio, and you're going to see that we're going to create a little method to automatically update it into the bottom of this plugins folder right here. And the other thing I wanted to show off, and you probably already know this, is if you go to Edit, Project Settings, and Player, and we check on the Android settings here, you'll see there's the package name. And again, we just want to make sure that we know exactly what this is, and we know exactly how we have it configured with the correct capitalizations and everything like that, because that's going to be very important when we move over to Android Studio. Alright, so now let's open up Android Studio, and we're going to just start a new Android Studio project, just with nothing in it at all. For our application name, we can just put FCM_helper. Now for company domain, again, we want to make sure this is exactly the same as we have it configured in Unity. I have it as all capitals, JTGD, .com, and I know it might be confusing that you do the company name and then .com afterwards, where over in Unity you have com first, but just make sure the package name down at the bottom is how it should be. Again, we're going to change these to all caps, JTGD. So just make sure that we have the company domain and package name set up correctly. Android project location can be wherever you prefer on your computer. Just go ahead and hit next here. Go ahead and target minimum API level of 15. That is just fine. We don't need any of this other stuff selected, so we'll just go hit next. And we're just going to be doing like a basic little helper here, so we don't need any activity. So just click the add no activity and finish, and Android Studio will generate our project for us now. All right, so here we are in our brand new Android Studio project, and what we're going to do is we're going to go up to File, and then New, and we're going to make a new module. And then a dialog window pops up here, and we're going to be creating an Android library. So click that and select Next. All right, for the application/library name, I just have notification channel controller. This can pretty much be whatever you want. For module name, I have basically the same thing, but with underscores because this is all lowercase, no capital letters allowed. And then for package name, just make sure you have that set correctly. Again, correct capitalization and everything. It matters. So just hit finish. All right, so now that we've created our project, we can go to the project tab in the upper left here, and you'll see that we have the notification channel controller module showing up. So now we're just going to expand Java, and where we see this com.jtgd.notification channel controller, we're going to do a right click on here, and we're going to create a new Java class. So for the name of the class, I have notification channel creator. For kind, we want to make sure we change it from class to singleton, and this ensures that there is an instance of our notification channel creator class, and this will allow us to call functions on the notification channel creator. And we'll just verify that the package is set to com.jtgd.notification channel controller. Visibility will be set to public, and we'll hit OK. Now this will pop up with some code here, and I'm going to open it up in a different IDE so you can get a better look at it. But one thing I want to do real quick, in the bottom left, just go to the Build Variants tab, and then we're going to change the notification channel controller, the build variant, from debug to release. And the reason we do that is so Unity basically handles whether our application is in debug or release mode. We don't need both kind of conflicting with each other of whether it's a debug or release. So we'll just set this to release. All right, so here I've opened up the Java file in Notepad++, just so we can see it a little bit better. You'll see at the very top we have the package name listed here, and then all the imports that we need. If you're typing this out manually, most of the things will be imported automatically with Android Studio, but we'll just make sure that we have all these so we can use everything in our code. And then within the public class for notification channel controller, first thing we're going to do is create an instance of the class. So these first couple lines of code, you may have noticed they're automatically generated when we create a singleton class. The first thing we do is just create an instance of the class called rInstance. The next thing we'll have a function called getInstance, which will just return our instance. And of course we'll just have a constructor, and this is more of a formality. We don't need to do anything in the constructor right now, but it's nice to have it in case we need it later. Now moving down in the code, we actually start to see some things that pertain to notification channels. So the first thing that we're going to create are the notification channel IDs. So we're going to make these public static final strings, and we'll just make a channel 1 ID and a channel 2 ID. And we can name them whatever we want. For the first channel, I have breaking_news, and the second channel, I have daily_deals. Now we want to remember what these are because this is what we'll actually be inputting into the Firebase console when we want to send a push notification to a specific channel. So this is how we identify it on the server side. And scrolling down here, this is kind of the main function where we actually create the notification channels. So we'll just make it a private void function called create notification channels, and it takes in a context variable. that we'll call cur context. And so this is the function that we'll actually be calling from Unity, and it creates the notification channels. So the first thing that we want to check with this line of code is to make sure that our devices running Android Oreo are greater. If it is, that we'll continue along with the code. Otherwise, no need, because notification channels do not exist. And the next, I just have a simple debug log function that just says creating notification channels, and we'll use the Unity tag. So when we're monitoring the logcat with the Unity tag, we'll see this message pop up to verify that the function is in fact being called. So here's where we set up the first notification channel. So we'll create a new notification channel called channel 1. And this will be a new notification channel. And the parameters will have the channel 1 ID. And remember, this is the channel 1 ID from up earlier in the code here. The next parameter is the friendly name. So this is actually what your user is going to see. So we'll make this nice and stylized with capital letters. We'll say breaking news, and make sure we put it in quotes here. And then the last thing that we want to do is set the importance. And for this, I have the importance set to high. Basically, that just means that the user will receive an alert of the notification. If you want to learn more about notification importances, I will put more documentation on that in the description of this video. So once we've done that, we're just going to call the setDescription function on the channel 1 notification channel. And again, this is something that your user will be able to see, so just keep that in mind. And then so for the breaking news one, I just put get the latest news from this app. Just a nice short and succinct description that the user will understand. And then very similarly, we're going to set up the second notification channel. So we'll just make a new notification channel called channel 2, set that equal to a new notification channel using the channel 2 ID. And for the name of this one, I called it deals of the day, also setting the importance to high. And then we'll set the description down here to see the latest deals as soon as they are announced. So now we need to get the current notification manager from the application. So we'll just create a new variable called nManager of type notification manager. And we're going to get that from the cur context variable that we passed into this function. And we'll use the getSystemService method passing in notification manager.class. And then down below, this is where we actually generate the notification channels. Before we were just kind of setting up the variables and everything. So we'll just do nManager.createNotificationChannel and do this for both channel 1 and channel 2. And so once that runs, then both the notification channels will be set up and we can send notifications on each of those channels. Alright, so here we are back in Android Studio, and as you can see, I have all the code entered in the Java class here. Of course, I'll leave a link to all this code down in the description, just a little paste bin file that you can copy and paste. So the next thing we're going to do in the project tab, we're going to open up the drop down for Gradle scripts, and then we're going to go to the build.gradle file for the notification channel controller module. So just double click that to open up. So then we're going to add in this CopyPlugin method, and basically what it's going to do is when we build our project, it's going to actually generate that AAR file, and then it's going to copy it from the build/outputs/AAR into our Unity project. So again, just make sure that you have this direct path to your specific Unity project set up. It's basically just going to go into your main project and then the /assets/plugins/Android folder. And of course, you can copy this from the paste bin link that I have in the description below. So now, how do we actually call this function? Well, you can see that I've already done it up here, but if you haven't done this already, you just go to this little drop down and click on Edit Configurations, and this little window pops up, and you'll do a plus sign, and then you're going to do the Gradle option here. And I've already done this, but you can just name it Copy Notification Channel Plugin, select the Gradle project with this little icon, and then you'll select the Notification Channel Controller, and then the tasks is going to be CopyPlugin, and that's just the method that we created right over here. Just go ahead and hit OK there. And then so to actually run it, just go up here and just make sure that Copy Notification Channel Plugin configuration is selected, and then we'll just hit the play. And then as you can see, it goes through a little build task, and at the bottom it says execution finished, CopyPlugin. All right, so here we are over in Unity. And if you've been following along with the tutorial series, you'll know that this is basically just the same application that I've been working with. Nothing too special. It just makes sure that we are receiving a device token and we can do some cool stuff with sending messages. But now that we're over here, the first thing that we want to check is go into our assets folder, open up plugins, Android, click on Android, and we'll just verify that the notification channel controller -release AAR file is showing inside this folder. This will basically just verify that the CopyPlugin method worked properly, and now that it's in here, we can utilize it in our Unity code. So in the scene, I just have this Firebase controller with a create notification channel script. So we'll pop open this script and I'll show you what's going on. All right, so here is the create notification channels C# script, and up at the top we're just going to define a couple constant strings. The first is going to be the name of our plugin, and so the way we actually get this name is if you go over to Android Studio, at the top you'll see there's the package, and then you have the com.jtgd.notification channel controller. You can just copy that and paste it over here, and then you'll see that's just the first part of it. And then we actually need to include the class name. So this is what we called the class here. So I just have notification channel creator. So you can go ahead and copy this part and bring it over and paste it in after that. Make sure just including the dot in between there. The next thing, this is going to be the same for everyone. We're going to make the Unity player name, and that's going to be com.unity3d.player.unityplayer. Now the way I have this set up is we're just going to create the notification channels every time the application is started. That's basically just the easiest way to show it off here. So everything's going to be within the start function of the create notification channels C# script. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll just verify that we are running on the Android platform. So we'll just say if application.platform is equal to runtime platform.android. If it's not, none of this code is going to work and we're going to get a bunch of errors. So otherwise we'll just skip over this. So the first thing we're going to want to do is find the main Unity player class. And the way we do this is we're going to create an Android Java class called Unity player class. So we'll do new Android Java class, and we'll pass in the Unity player name. So this is that Unity player name that we've set up at the top here. And then here we just verify that we actually got the Unity player class. Otherwise we'll print an error out to the screen. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to get the current context of the Unity player class. So this is going to be an Android Java object, and then we'll call it Unity player context. We'll set that equal to the Unity player class that we got from right here, .getStatic, and we'll pass in the type of Android Java object, and we want the current activity. Again, we'll verify that the Unity player context is not null. If it is, we'll print this error out to the screen. Next, we're going to find the Android notification class. So basically we're going to make another Android Java class called Android Notification class equal to new Android Java class, passing in the plugin name this time. Again, we'll check if it's null. If it is, print an error out to the screen. And the last thing that we'll want to get is the actual singleton instance of that Android Notification class. So we'll create an Android Java object called plugin object. We'll set that equal to the Android notification class that we got from right here, and we're going to call a method on it. We're going to use call static, passing in type of Android Java object, and we're going to call the getInstance method. And if you'll remember, over in the code, this is the getInstance method that just returns the instance of the class notification channel controller. And of course, just verify that it's not null. If it is, print an error to the screen. And then all we do to create the notification channels is just call the create notification channels method. So the way we do that is just use the plugin object that we just got, .call, pass in the name of the function, create notification channels, and then we'll pass in the Unity player context. Now I know that's a lot, and hopefully it kind of made sense as I just kind of went through it, but basically we're just getting a bunch of objects so we can just call that one create notification channels method. And then so now we'll just save this, go over to Unity. wait for it to compile, and then we can go to File, Build Settings, and create a new build. Alright, so now we have the application running on our device. Again, just verify that we get a device token if we want to send Firebase Cloud Messaging push notifications to it. So we can just hit the home button, put it in the background for now. Alright, and then over in the Firebase console, just go ahead and create a new message. I've got this draft saved here. Basically, the message text, we're going to say breaking news, Android is awesome. For a message label, you can just have this whatever you want, just something to organize everything by. We're just going to send to everyone running the Android app. And then under advanced options for title, I just have breaking in all caps. And then the Android notification channel. So remember, this is over in our Android code. This is the channel ID. So I just grabbed that breaking_news, put that in for the channel. And we can go ahead and send the message here, and we'll send it. And then you'll see that we got a new push notification on my phone here with the title of breaking and the breaking news, Android is awesome. So now if we hold down on the notification, this opens up a little menu, and we can choose to turn off notifications from the breaking news category. Or keep them on. Of course, we can go to all categories, and this shows all the categories that we have in the application. Just go ahead and ignore the channel 1 and channel 2. That was just me testing with stuff earlier. But here we can control if we want breaking news to be on or off. We'll just leave it off for now. You'll also see that we have the deals of the day channel, and the miscellaneous channel is where things come on that do not have a channel ID associated with them. One other thing I want to point out, if you say click on the breaking news category, you can see under the little I, it says get the latest news from this app. And if you'll remember, that's what we set in Android Studio with the set description method. As well as we can go over to the deals of the day, tap on that, and you'll see we have the see the latest deals as soon as they're announced. That's just the description that we set in Android Studio. So we'll just go back to the home screen, and again, we've turned off the breaking news channel. So we can go over here and we can duplicate the message, and we'll just send the exact same thing again. So send the message, send. And you'll see that we actually don't receive anything on the phone at all. That's because we turned off notifications for that channel. However, we can still send things to other channels. So if we just duplicate the template of this method, and just like that, I've changed up a couple things here. So for the message text, we'll just have half off all smartphones through 10/5/18. Message label, deals of the day channel test. Title, we'll put hot deal. And then for the notification channel, we'll send it to the daily deals channel. So now if we send this message, and send it now, you'll see that we do get a notification. And then so we can go ahead and scroll down, click on this, open up the application like we normally would. Alright, so that's how you create notification channels for your Unity application. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial video and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a like. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already for much more tutorial videos like this one, as well as lots of other cool independent video game developer related content. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or otherwise, feel free to drop them down in the comments section below. Once again, shout out to CWGTech and Coding in Flow for their awesome tutorial videos that they've created that just really help me better understand creating plugins for Android, as well as creating notification channels for your Android application. So that's going to be it for this tutorial video. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.